Welcome to the Swimpros News,
Hello, everybody.
episode 30. So it's going to be a quick one for the following reasons. Shit just happened. Yule?
Well, long story short, my laptop got stolen. I need to figure stuff out to get a new one because I'm in the middle of organizing everything for camps, etc. And yeah, this is not helping. So yeah, I need to go to the police and whatever. So
So
well,
people in Switzerland, take note, hey? We never thought that would happen in the train, right?
train in the train broke
Who?
open my suitcase. That's insane.
Yeah, okay. So Yule's gonna have to deal with that, run to the police and all of that. So we'll keep it short and sweet. Yule, we're interested. I mean, also me. We saw each other yesterday, but talk about camp. Some of the lessons learned, what worked really well, what didn't work well.
Sure. So first of all, we're at a beautiful location, Mallorca. For
Mhm.
sure, we will go back eventually. Already looking to do the same camp next year, bigger formats. Obviously, it's going to be a bit, yeah, it's going to be a different organization, right? Because you have more time. Um, but yeah, so we had a really good time. Hotel is cool. So, learnings in general from swimming. We had a fast group there, meaning yeah, nobody really was. How do I want to say that? Well, we never have slow swimmers, right? But I think our uh, slowest swimmer was maybe at a 30 in the 50 free.
Yep.
Um, got her under that, and yeah, so we worked a lot on buoyancy and actually feeling the buoyancy in the water, versus just going into blind sprinting. And I think that's so. I used some new drills that I got from Stanford, Tori Husk. Yeah, so really cool drills, and they worked very well. And I also, so the feedback was overwhelmingly great when it came to, hey, yeah, let's do these drills more, right? And I just saw from beginning of the camp to end of the camp when they had to do their own warm up, they started implementing these drills more and more, and in the end, they were practically only doing those. Um, so yeah, and also the first couple of swimmers have their competition this weekend. It already started today, and they have been using. They told me they have been using them there. We have all PBs up to now, um, and yeah. So just FYI, these are not just young swimmers. These are also 17, 18 to 21 year olds, and they're already swimming PBs, right? So yeah, our camp does
Fantastic.
help, right? So yeah.
Fantastic. Can you share one of these drills for me? Because I mean I don't know these drills yet because I've been sitting at home, right? Where just one.
Sure. So one is basically kick to sprint, um, but we're going instead of streamline head down, we're going streamline head up, which automatically makes your hips wanting to fall.
Yep.
So you're pretty deep in the water, and now your entire core needs to work double shifts to bring those hips and feet up, so that you can kick effectively, sprint, right, and then from there accelerate through. Hey, I'm gonna go because I just see some police officers that can point me in the right direction.
All right. See ya.
All right, see ya.
All right. That
Excusez-moi.
yeah. Okay. So that's that. So we didn't get to see that. Okay. So I guess I'll just walk you through a couple of things. So we are, if anybody is still thinking about and seeing this, thinking about summer camp, we need to know if you're coming or not because we had four last minute cancellations, even though, I mean, the elite camps have been full for months, but we have four cancellations. So we have four open spots for the summer camp. If we have talked and you want to come, we need to know by Monday morning because we're going to order the t-shirts with the name on it, the cap with the name on it, and all the other stuff. So Monday is the absolute deadline for the summer camps. Okay, that's that. We'll have to see how we're gonna deal with Yule you losing his laptop, it really sucks because there's a lot of data on it. But this is on us to figure that out. So hopefully they will. He's talking to police now. I'll give you a quick update in Skool. So we are basically we're just maintaining what we did all season right now. It's not, most kids have their end of summer competition now, next weekend or the following. And then for most people, the season is going to be over. So it's not the time to start new things. But what we are doing, check this out. We're doing the No Nag method. And it's really cool, guys. Because, if you've been following me for a while, I'm trying to make this bigger, but it doesn't work. Okay, so the No Nag method, what it is it is reducing screen time, but on the swimmer's own terms, right? So it's not me saying, hey, this is what you have to do. It's not the parents saying, hey, you can't be on social media, you can't be gaming and all of that. It is a process that we take swim families through, not just the swimmers. Obviously, it starts with the swimmer, and they need to kind of realize, hey, I might be spending a bit too much time on social media. Now, that's going on this week. So we did day 1 on Sunday. We're going to do day 2 tonight, where we're going to continue with the process, and then we're going to close it on Sunday again. And I think why is going to be very successful. So you'll see, we started with a screenshot. So everybody had to post screenshots of, how much they're using their phone on a weekly basis, but then broken down into it just how much screen time they have every single day. And that's the baseline. And I want this No Nag method, okay, reducing screen time without the fights, without the nagging. I want this to be 100% success rate. So we need to know what the baseline is, where we're at, right? And then we kind of play a game that as a group together for everybody who is in a No Nag method, who's following the process, and we're doing this together. We want to reduce it in the first week, and then we're going to continue to either reduce it or maintain it at a lower level than where we started. And then we're going to have check-ins, pretty much every week, because the idea is to sustainably reduce screen time. I love the topic because, you see, I'm 38, so I grew up with no phone, and then at some point we had these Nokia 3310. The only thing you could pretty much play was Snake, and we played that a lot too. I remember sitting in the at the pool, outdoor pool, and playing ping pong, and then people were like playing Snake and all that. But I think it gets you maybe like a little bit addictive, but at some point you get bored. But with today's mobile phones, it's just wild, right? It is wild what they can do, the games that they have, the social media, the pull, the addiction that comes with it. And so I just see how I don't want to exaggerate, but I do see how it destroys people's lives. And I think a lot of parents would agree with me on that. And really, I thought about it a lot. What's the best way to describe it? It's like you see your child waste potential. And it sucks. I hate when I see, I know hate is a strong word, but it gets my juices going when I see somebody who clearly has the potential, but they're wasting it away by doing stupid shit like playing video games on their phone. I'm not saying you can't play video games, but it's like, if it's 5 hours in a day or like 3, and you'd be surprised at the numbers. It is wild, guys. I'm playing the challenge as well. I'm on my phone between 2 and 3 hours a day, but it's literally 90% of that is WhatsApp, and I'm taking calls for the camp and like organizing stuff, right? We're building relationships, and it's like, it's work. It used to be different, but then I changed, I reduced, and now my life is better. And if it's true for me, then this is definitely true for all these teenagers out there. And so, it's just, I had a guy asked me yesterday, true story, right? I'm not going to say names because we're all in the same boat, basically. But he said, David, I feel kind of not motivated to go to training, but also I feel motivated. I want to go to training, but it's really hard. And I asked him about his schedule and stuff, and he has to swim in the afternoon, and there's school stuff that he has, and he just feels like it's a lot to do. not enough space, not enough free time for him, and that's why he doesn't feel motivated to go to swim training, because he's also doing track. He's not motivated to go to swim training in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, let's try to figure out what's going on, and ask him he didn't know that we were doing the No Nag method, but it's like, okay, take me a screenshot of your screen time, and it's sitting at 5 hours a day, right? So if you're on your phone for 5 hours a day, then it is not surprising to me that you don't feel like you have any free time, because, well, we all have 24 hours in a day, and 8 to 10 are probably going to be for sleep, and then, right, not 6. For us adults is different, but for the kids, 8 to 10 is going to be for sleep. An hour is going to be for eating. There's going to be some for school. For most of you guys, school is off now, so, and there's going to be a bit of training, and then maybe some family time. But this is going to leave some gap of like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours that are actually free time, right? But if we're wasting it on the phone, then, well, there goes the time. And I always tell the story with my wife, when I needed to do things in business, but I didn't, and I procrastinated for whatever reason, right? She got tired of me complaining all the time that I didn't have time. She took my phone, went into the settings, and then, screen time, and then she's like, here, 90 minutes today on Instagram. I guess I just found you time. And I was like, touche, right? So we all work with the same 24 hours. So it's not about doing more and more and more. It's about cutting out the stuff that we're doing on a daily basis that doesn't actually serve us. And I ask him, man, like, look, you have to ask yourself a question. Do you want to be remembered as an Instagram scroller, right? Who literally just consumes content, doesn't even contribute to anything, doesn't create content. You just consume content. You just sit there and, you're an Instagram scroller. Or do you want to go all in on swimming for the next couple of months and try to qualify for an awesome world championship? Which one is it? We can have everything in life, but we cannot have it at the same time, right? So in other words, if something is really important to us, we have to be willing to make sacrifices. And that is with our energy, with our time, with our effort, with money, right? For the parents, we need to prioritize and we need to sacrifice. We have to say no to other things. And I think, and that's why the No Nag method exists, and we're going to run it many, many times, especially if it's as successful as I hope it will be, because this is an experiment. Okay, it's the first time that we do it, but to reduce screen time is something that makes a lot of sense to actually reduce, because barely ever is it actually beneficial and aligned with what the kid is saying, what they want to do, right? They're just using social media because they're bored, because they want to be distracted, because it's easy, because they don't know what else to do, because it gives them connection, because they feel like they know all the news and they're up to date and they feel connected, right? They need to Snapchat all the time. But, that time when you really go into the process, you're like, okay, what does social media give me? For me, it's always distraction. I work with this with my coach as well. It's like, okay, I got a million problems with business and family and, everything. And then it's just super easy to not deal with the problems, sit on the couch when the kids are asleep, and just like, lay back and go on a doom scroll on TikTok for an hour, and I forget the problems. But they don't go away. You know what I mean? I just wasted an hour. And yeah, sometimes it's good content, but really, has it changed my life? No, it hasn't. Right? It's much more... So then what we do also, we figure out, okay, what is the social media? How much is it? And what does it give you? Like, why are you using it? What does it give you? We need to know what it gives you, because it's giving you something, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. So it's giving you something. We need to know what that is. And then we need to find a replacement. So if somebody feels like they're very connected when they're on Snapchat all the time, then we need to find an alternative, which would be, okay, if I'm not on Snapchat all the time, then I will have more free time to actually maybe hang out with my swimmer friends after training and go for dinner together, or have a conversation on the phone or in video chat, right? But do something that actually builds connection instead of just doing what everybody else is doing and, what's the cool thing to do. And we have to be a little different as semi-professional athletes. Does that make sense? And I think that's why we can be, as a group, as a Swimpros group, everybody who's going through the No Nag method, we can be extremely successful because what those kids have is they have a strong reason to actually do it because they know that it will benefit their swimming and their recovery and themselves as to like become a more capable human being and not be like a zombie. You know, I've seen the most happy kids, talkative and curious and just fun to be around. They get their phones and they turn into a zombie. I hate it. I hate it. I hate when it happens on camp. Yeah, I guess that's also part of the reason why on camp we take their phones away. And we're doing it together as a group, so there's a bit of peer pressure, but I think it's okay to apply peer pressure if it's something that is benefiting everyone and not on my terms, but on their terms and not on the parents' terms. It's like, that's why it's coming from the swimmer. So at that point, for everybody who's in the No Nag method, it's not about whether reducing screen time is going to be beneficial for them. All the people that are in it, they already know that this is true. And they already made a statement and drew the line in the sand and said, hey, I'm going to reduce my screen time. And the No Nag method is just a process of how we can do that sustainably without the fights. And again, so they have a strong why. They have a big dream or a goal that they're working towards in swimming. And so then it makes a lot of sense to prioritize that and then have everything else underneath. And then if we reprioritize in our head, it's going to be incredibly simple to make the right decisions on an everyday basis. And if you do that for a while, you know, it starts to form a new habit. And all of a sudden, instead of always being on the phone first thing in the morning or always being scrolling in bed before sleeping, you like don't do that for a while. And then you feel amazing. And before you know it, it's going to be a new habit. And all of a sudden, you don't look at your phone for the first 2 hours of the day. You don't look at your phone for the last hour in the evening, and that's who you become. And then at that point, it requires no more energy to actually follow through on, you know what I mean? It just, in the beginning, takes a bit of willpower, a bit of reorganization, a couple of like tricks on how to remember it and all that, playing a game together so that we know on next Sunday, we all, including me, have to take another screenshot to see how we progressed. And so we don't want to mess up the stats, right? So there's a bit of group pressure, but it's a good kind because it's on the terms of the kids. So we want them to take the ownership and step into and start creating the kind of life and the swimming career and everyday life that they think that they want and need to have the kind of success that they want. I think it's a pretty cool setup. And then just me as the guide, I'm not their dad, you know, and we hear that so many times that we speak to parents and they've been trying to help them with a certain topic in their life and they've been saying the right kind of things. It just did not land. And then they work with Yul or myself and we say it, maybe different words or whatever, but we say pretty much the same thing. And next thing you know is the kid does 100% what we asked them to do. And the parents go, well, but I've been saying that for 3 years. But you're the parent. And you know how those dynamics, those family dynamics start to shift a little bit when they're like 12, 13, 14, 15, depending on when they come into puberty and all that. And so then it's good to have a guide that they can ask for advice that they respect and is not family, right? Because it's not that the teenagers don't want advice. It's just they don't want it from you. And I'd like to think in my mind, but I'm not that stupid, but I'd like to think, oh, with my children, it's going to be different. They're going to listen to me because I'm that kind of super dad, right? And I know all of this, but it's going to be the exact same thing. So the teenagers, it's not that they don't want advice. It's just that they don't want it from the parents most of the time. And so then it's good to have connections or like have the teenagers listen and talk to people whose values are aligned, you know, and they will listen to these people. And that could be Yul and I. And I think for the No Nag method, that puts me in a very cool position to do it with, to help get a better and more sustainable result. So anyway, I think you guys know I'm super passionate about it. I think it's one of the, and I'm really happy that some countries are starting to limit social media use for minors. We'll see what the research, like what actually happens from it. But when you look at what's been happening in terms of screen time and depression and how it hurts their confidence and all of that, like the research is so freaking clear that this thing here, it is no bueno, okay? It is no bueno for most children. It has some advantages, of course, but it has a lot of different disadvantages. And I just, we parents, we're old enough to understand. We have more life experience. We grew up differently. But if you like grow up and you having a phone, man, I know people who are like 4 years old and they have their own cell phone and they know how to use it. It's wild, guys. It's wild. When we were in Turkey, that's the younger kids, right? When we were in Turkey, they had these little stands, but and it was a huge hotel, 5-star, like a huge hotel, huge dining hall. And like 95% of these kids, maybe even more, I'm not kidding. They had these stands where they would be at the dinner or the lunch table, and the parents would eat, and they would keep their child busy by having the phone right in front of their face while they were eating, and they're watching these cartoons and like YouTube shorts and bling, 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 that keeps the kids' attention like that. But like, if you do that to like a 1-year-olds, they could barely sit, right? If you do that and you do that all the time, because when you do it on holidays, you're definitely going to do it at home too. And then you have a TV and they're just screen time. What do you think is going to happen to your kid? Like, it's definitely not going to be good for the neuroplasticity and how the brain develops and all that. And what they think the world really is. It's, right? So we use competitive swimming. It's the best life school in the world. And I think it is. That's why we're so excited, especially 2026 moving forward. Man, we have this opportunity to use and build a strong character with competitive swimming. Yes, it's a game. There's nothing really on the line. It's just a game. But because we love it so much and we care so much, we go through all of these emotions. We have to learn how to be consistent. We have to learn discipline. We have to learn resilience, right? We have to learn how to handle the ups and the downs. And we have to learn to deal with managing time because we're super busy. We have to recover. And we have to learn all of that. And we can use competitive swimming to build a solid and strong and powerful character. And, being a master over your phone is part of that journey, right? So that the phone is not your master, you're the master of the phone, and you decide what it is that you want to do and what it is that you don't want to do. And that is part of being a powerful human being. And again, it goes really well together with competitive swimming. So that's all I got for today. We'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with Yule's laptop. I still can't believe it. And tonight in the Skool group, if you're not in the Skool group, let me show you the link. It's free to join. It's right here. It's skool.com, Skool with a K /MindGymPro. Now, by the way, we haven't really announced this yet, but what we'll do is we will create a second Skool group in 3 weeks' time. So the big Skool group, where there's like 1,600 swim families in there, that will be free, remain free forever. And then we will move all our paying clients who are on premium, which is the $9 a month membership, and the academy. We will move all of them into a private new Skool group so that we have a free group for everybody. Everybody's welcome to hang out and get some tips and stuff to swim faster. And then we'll have a closed, hidden, secret group for all of our paying members. And then we'll have that separated a bit, and that will start, in August. When we go on camp, we'll announce it for sure and move everybody who's one of our paying clients. We'll move them in the hidden, in the secret group. Okay, cool. But yeah, come check out the Skool group. It's been a lot easier for us to sell camps because I feel like people know exactly what a swim camp is, and then they find out what our training schedule is and who our coaches are, and like Milo Račavić and Peter Mankoch, right? And they get, by the way, for summer 2027, we're gonna have the head coach of the University of Virginia, Mark Bernardino. He had multiple world record holders. He had multiple Olympic gold medalists. That guy is a legend, and he loves what we're doing. And I talked to him the other day, and he has a knee surgery, so he can't make the New Year's camp, but he'll be with us for summer 2027. Anyway, so it's just about with camps to go over the logistics, find out about the coaching style and why it's so awesome, why it's been so successful for all the swimmers. And then, people come on camp. And with Skool, with the mental side of competitive swimming, it's a bit more difficult to get people on board, I guess, because people know exactly what a swim camp is, but they may not know what mental training is, what visualization is, what conscious breathing is, so yeah, it's just on my mind, and Yul and I, but it is the most important part, the mindset. Like when we kind of select who can come on camp and who not, like, yes, the swimming level is important just because we need to be able to run good practices, and we cannot have people going 130 and 100 freestyle and others go 50, right? So that doesn't work. So we need to have like a similar kind of level, but so much more important than the performance right now is actually their mindset, right? And then also the technique, but that can be improved. But the mindset is something that's the most important, because it's the number one predictor of how far a swimmer can go. And when you look at any of the successful athletes, not just in swimming, and a reporter or an interviewer would ask them, hey, what was the biggest difference between you and the field and everybody else? They will never tell you always because I had longer arms, I had bigger feet. They will always will they say it's because of what's going on between the ears, right? And so that's what we do on Skool. But it's been a bit more of a challenge because people are super excited about camp, and then about Skool, there's like, okay, this is a platform, it's online. And I get it, right? It's so much more fun to hang out and like do stuff together and go 1, 2, 3, Swimpros together, and then swim super fast, hug, give high fives and all that. I get it. But that's an experience, but then that's 10 days. But what do you do the other 355 during the year actually matter a lot more, and that's where the Skool comes in, right? But anyway, we'll keep building the community, because every time after camp, there's a lot of energy because people know each other, they know who they are, they trust each other, right? They contribute more. So we'll go camps, and then from camps, we're going to go into Skool, and then you come to camp again. So that's kind of where we're at, but we're thinking about how can we make it easier. If you have any ideas, please do let me know. My email address is david@swimpros.com. I'm very open to suggestions, to hear from you guys, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, I'm just really hoping he's going to get his laptop back. Okay? So if you got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening, guys.